Good afternoon everyone, it's Mr Mochan here from Bellahouston Academy, and I'm very happy to say that today's virtual assembly is about our phased return to school next week from Monday the 15th of March. And I'd like to begin by saying how much we're looking forward to seeing you all again from next week. The first thing I should say is when you come back to school next week, you should be aware that there'll be some different rules and mitigations in place to keep everyone feeling safe. Now, some of them you already know about. For instance, when you were in school before, we made you aware about the importance of things like good hand hygiene and so on, but there are some things that might be new to you as well. And the most important thing that will be new to you will be that when you're in school and even when you're in classrooms, you'll be expected to keep a 2 metre physical distance from other pupils and from the staff who are in school as well. So we've had to rearrange the classrooms over the last few days, and we'll keep doing that for the next few days until Monday to make sure the classrooms are set up in a way that means that you can be 2 metres apart from the other people that are in the room. We should also say that you'll be expected to wear a mask or a face covering unless you have an exemption when you're in the school building, even when you're in classrooms in fact as well. So I hope that everyone understands why we're doing those things. We're doing those things because it means that we will feel safer when we're in school, and that's really important to make everyone feel nice and calm about coming back to join us again. The next thing that I would like to say is to give you an indication of what the arrangements will be for the different year groups in the school, because we'll be using a slightly different timetable over the next 14 school days until spring break. And the reason why we're moving towards a different school timetable is because you have to be 2 metres apart when you're in classes. It means we can have fewer pupils in classrooms at the same time. So we've got to try and work out the best possible way of having, making the best possible use of time that we've got with you when you're in school. I'll begin by speaking about S5 to S6. So for S5 to S6, both year groups are split in two halves. Then they're split in halves by house group. So the two halves are Arran and Iona House and Mull and Skye House in the other half. Arran and Iona houses will join us for the first half of the school week. And the first half of the school week is Monday all day, Tuesday all day and Wednesday morning. Now Wednesday lunchtime, the pupils in Arran and Iona House will leave us for the week, and the pupils in Mull and Skye will join us at that stage, and they will be in school Wednesday afternoon, all day Thursday and all day Friday. The other thing I should say is we've had to change the timetable in such a way as to limit movement around the school. So that means when you come in, that your lessons will be a lot longer. So in a school day, you will have 2 much longer lessons, and that will mean you will have 5 lessons in your half school week. That means you will see all 5 of your subject teachers each week, and that's really important because of the work that we're going to be doing. If you're in S5 and S6 and you're rejoining us on Monday, you'll already know that what we'll be concentrating on is the learning that you'll need to overtake so that you'll be ready for assessment in your SQA courses at some point in the near future. The only other thing that I would say to you just now if you're in S5 and S6 would be a wee reminder that you have access to COVID-19 lateral flow testing should you wish to take part in that programme, and if you haven't already and you do wish to take part in that programme, you should contact Miss O'Donnell in the school office and she will make sure that you have a testing kit. In regards to where you should come on either Monday morning if you're in Arran and Iona House, or Wednesday afternoon if you're in Mull or Skye House, we will get in touch with you later on this week to tell you where your first lesson will be, and you will pick up your timetable for the week then. If there are any issues, please feel free to get in touch with me at school. If there's anything that needs any further explanation, just let me know. We would ask that you come in by the Urdale Road entrance when you're coming into school if you're in S5 and S6. And also, you'll have seen in the letter, we would ask that you come in just 5 minutes after the session start time. So the morning session actually now begins at 9 o'clock. So we would ask S5 and S6 to come in at 9:05, and the afternoon session begins at 12:20. So we would ask you to come in at 12:25. And the reason for that is we're eager to make sure that there's no possibility of large groups of pupils having to congregate at the doors when they've been let in. When your learning for a particular day is over, we would ask that you go home promptly, again so we can avoid large groups of young people congregating in areas of the school which aren't particularly spacious. S4's arrangements are just a little bit different. So S4 again will split the year group in half, and we'll do that again by house groups. So Aaron and Iona in one half of the year group, and Mull and Skye in the other half of the year group. Aaron and Iona houses will join us for all 5 mornings in the school week. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday mornings. Whereas Mull and Skye will join us for all 5 afternoons in the school week, and that will mean you will get 2.5 school days each. Now you will have, again, slightly longer lessons. You have 8 subjects of course to cover in your school week, so your lessons will last 80 minutes, and you will see all of your teachers at least once. You will see your maths and English teachers twice. That means you'll be able to cover, we hope, the learning that you'll need to undertake so you're ready to move forward towards SQA assessments in the near future. Because remember, that's the focus of what we're doing when we're bringing you back just now to school. Again, I would ask that you, when you come into school for your first lesson, whether that's in the morning if you're at Aaron and Iona house, or in the afternoon if you're in Mull and Skye house, that you use the Urdale Road entrance when you come in, and you should come in at the very beginning of each session in the morning or the afternoon. So if you're in Aaron and Iona house, your session begins at 9 o'clock and you should arrive promptly at 9. If you are in Mull and Skye house, your session begins at 12:20 and you should arrive promptly at 12:20. You'll have noticed then that S5 and S6 and S4 begin at very slightly different times, and that should mean we don't have very large groups of young people congregating at the doors. I'll also remind you that you have access to, should you wish to take part in the COVID-19 lateral flow testing, and if you do want a testing kit, then you should see Miss O'Donnell in the school office. All of 4th year, whether you're in one half of the year group or the other, your first lesson is mathematics. So if you go to maths, we'll give you your timetable for the week there when you arrive for your first lesson. I'll move on to S3 just now, and again S3's arrangements are slightly different to S5, S6 and S4. S3 will join us for a total of 1 school day per week, and that total will be made up of 2 afternoons. Again, we've split the year group in half, Aaron and Iona house and Mull and Skye. So if you are in Aaron and Iona house, you will join us on Monday and on Tuesday afternoons. If you're in Mull and Skye house, you'll join us for Wednesday and Thursday afternoons. Your sessions will be just slightly different. Rather than go to all of your curricular subjects, you will go to 2 lessons of PE. You'll go to a single lesson of RME, PHSE, literacy and numeracy across the week. I should also say to you as well that when you are in PE, your lessons will be outdoors. So I would strongly encourage you to wear clothing that would be suitable to do PE outdoors. To stop you from having to get changed in the small changing rooms, and we're keen that we don't have young people in cramped spaces like that for long spaces of time. You don't need to wear your school uniform. You can come to school wearing your PE kit. You won't unfortunately have the opportunity to change out of your PE kit after your lesson. You would go straight to your next lessons after that. So just bear that in mind when you're choosing what to wear when you come into school. I would expect you to be, when you come back to school after spring break, able to wear your school uniform again. For your first lesson, when you're due to join us, you should go directly to the school football pitch, and there you'll be directed towards the right classroom and then given your timetable for your 2 afternoon sessions in the week. Okay, next I'll turn to S1 to S2, and I'll say again that the arrangements for those two year groups are slightly different to the ones that I've already described. S1 to S2 pupils will join us for one visit in the school week, and that visit will last for 3 school lessons. Similarly to S3, the focus for you in S1 to S2 will be on recovery and reconnection, and that really means giving you the opportunity to reconnect with your friends and your peers and the school and your teachers, because we know that that's really important, giving you that chance to interact socially again when you haven't been in school for quite a long time now. So you will attend either a morning or an afternoon session, and I won't read out the big long list of what those sessions are just now, but I'll remind you that the list of when you should come into school, or when each of the practical classes should come into school, is in the letter that I issued to your parents yesterday, and you can see that on the school website, on the Twitter and on the app as well. If you don't know which practical section you're in, we'll make that clear to you as well before Monday, so you know when to come in to school, because I know that some of you who've only recently joined the school might not be fully aware of which practical section that you're in. Again, you will have lessons in PE, in literacy and numeracy, and I would say to you that PE lessons will be outdoors, so to remember that when you're deciding what to wear, because we won't be asking you to get changed between lessons, so we can avoid you having to go into the changing rooms. You don't require to wear school uniform, and you will be wearing what you wear for PE when you go into your other 2 lessons, so if you want to factor that in when you're deciding what to wear, that would be helpful. Again, I would hope that when we're able to welcome you back to school full time on April the 20th, we'll be able to wear our uniform again, because that's of course something we're very, very proud of. You will be contacted by text message later on this week, by group call, and we'll make sure that you know where to go for your first lesson when you come in on your day's visit. We would ask that when you're coming into school that you use the Gower Terrace entrance, please. Thank you. That's all I've got to say just now about each of the different year groups. There's just a few other matters that I'll remind you of very quickly. If you're in the Glasgow School of Sport, then Craig Robertson, the director, will be in touch with you and your family over the next few days to make you aware of any additional arrangements that you'll need to know about if you're in Glasgow School of Sport. Those arrangements shouldn't affect any of the arrangements that I've just described to you about your year groups. I should also say to you as well that there is an expectation that when you're not in school that you'll be involved in some kind of remote learning. Now in S4 to S6 you'll be told when you're in school what you should be doing when you're not. For S1 to S3 your teachers will still be providing work for you to do at the parts of the week when you're not in school. The only other thing that I've got to say to you just now before I finish up is just to say again how much we're really looking forward to having you back. Most of us, I know, haven't been in school for a long spell of time now and may be finding the prospect of coming back to school slightly nerve-wracking. We're aware of that, and we'll do all we can to support you to feel calm and safe and comfortable when you're back in the building again. Thanks very much.